All right, so welcome back. I'm Dave, and this is Save America Vote Tulsi Gabbard. Um, Let me talk about Tulsi. I've been talking about a lot of other topics, but um, Tulsi Gabbard, according to one poll, is at 4%, which is the highest I've seen her, which I guess is good news because most of the polls I've seen, she's been at 1%. So she's quadrupled her support. 4%. Bernie and Biden and Pete, Mayor Pete, Super Pete. He's just doing great with all of the sycophant media. Yesterday we saw, I guess, Pete was compared to Tiger Woods or something, and I think I put that in the last video. Just remarkable how these people link. I mean, this is just an unknown mayor from a second-rate city that was really struggling, and here he is. He's running for president, and he's got the mojo. He's just look. He's a mayor. Okay, I'm not saying it doesn't take a lot of skill to be a mayor of a city, and then you're running for president. I guess you want to look at Trump, and he didn't hold political office, so this opens up pretty much anybody can run for president. I mean, at this stage, if you're a dog catcher and you've got a decent platform, you're going to get maybe some consideration based on what's happened with Donald Trump. But I'm wondering about Tulsi. I watched her do this meet and greet in Iowa. It was really good. There weren't a lot of people in the room, and typically when I see Tulsi at these speaking engagements, sometimes the rooms are packed out, but typically they're not big rooms. I think the biggest room was out in California. I think that was the event Jimmy Dore attended. Nico House was there. And that was a big room, and it was packed out. But you really can't compare the size of her crowds to, say, Bernie Sanders, who right now I think is hitting on all cylinders. I think the Fox town hall was brilliant. It was a brilliant idea. You're reaching a huge audience. And if people don't think conservatives aren't going to consider Bernie Sanders, I think they're delusional, because they will. They will. Because they're conservatives, a lot of them got hooked on the message of Donald Trump, a lot of which has gone by the wayside. Trump was spouting populism, and now he's spouting neocon politics. It just, Saudi Arabia, I mean, he's basically vetoing a bill that would prevent genocide. It's just mind-blowing. It's completely mind-blowing. So as I sit here and I think of all these things, I just wonder to myself, is Tulsi Gabbard too good of a candidate? In other words, is she just too good for the current voting population? I mean, and the media doesn't understand her. Okay? She's focused on this anti-war stuff. And she's a puppet of Assad. And she's a Russian bot. And, David Duke likes her. And Stephen Bannon likes her. This is the narrative that was created early on. Somebody tweeted back to me the original article on how they were going to come at Tulsi Gabbard. And out of the gate, the strategy was to brand her as some type of Russian asset. Unbelievable. So, in the process, the resistance class, the people who have no agenda, okay, their agenda is to resist Donald Trump. They have no agenda. That resistance group was told right off the bat, this is how we're going to take care of Tulsi Gabbard. And the people that don't know about that are going to hear Russian bot, and they're going to say, oh, so the Democratic Party has another Donald Trump, and that would be Tulsi Gabbard. Couldn't be further from reality and the truth. Couldn't even. They're in two separate galaxies, Tulsi Gabbard and Donald Trump. Not even in the same universe. Okay, not even. But Tulsi continues to shine, and she can answer any question. Somebody gave her some question about like agriculture and agribusinesses and so forth, and all these like farming oriented things. And you think, yeah, you're in Iowa, maybe you should study up on some of these issues. Tulsi, boom, boom, boom. That answer just was right off. And she also showed concern and the ability to kind of like dig into the issue, saying, hey, I want to talk to you later about this. Showing real empathy and concern for this particular person. We've got Mr. Non-empathy in the White House right now. Donald Trump doesn't empathize with anyone. He hasn't had to empathize his entire life. That's why he was all discombobulated with Frank Lutz. Or is it Lutz or Luntz? Whatever the guy's name is. When he was on the campaign trail, and Frank asked him about, have you ever felt remorse and all these things. Trump doesn't know how to feel those emotions. He really doesn't, which is weird. You elected this sort of angry robot guy, orange robot, and I helped do the electing, by the way. Pretty sad, but it's true. But the more I watch Tulsi Gabbard, the more I wonder, is she just too good? I've tweeted this out. She's too attractive, okay, compared to the other candidates. Okay, and I am talking about physical appearance, so just so you know where I'm coming from. And I don't want to sound like a sexist or anything here, but it's helpful, okay, that she is pleasant to look at. Let's just throw that in there. But it's even more helpful that she has the right policy. And it's very helpful that she's articulate and that she's passionate. And every time Donald Trump does something stupid, she makes a video and she puts it right out there. She's the only one to really defend Ilhan Omar, which I think is, and nobody the funny thing is, they avoid her because she'll be a pit bull. And they ask her, so why are you defending that anti-Semite? Tulsi would grab the Louisville Slugger and just hit it right out of the park. And they don't want that on their newscast. They don't want people to see that soundbite. She'll be making sense, and people will hear it, and people will say, who is this woman? Because most people who haven't seen her, and people on the right especially, go, the Democrats have this? I thought all the Democrats, all they were concerned about were identity politics, and wedge issues, getting people angry, I don't know, platitudes, hopey, changey stuff. We're all going to succeed. We have to persevere, yada, yada. Nope. Here's a woman who knows what she knows and knows how to explain it. And she can answer questions, and she can hit you back. Bernie was very good the other day at the town hall because he threw the question back at the moderators about the private insurance versus the public option or Medicare for all. And then he threw it back out to the audience. It was brilliant. I mean, that was a brilliant moment. And that's the kind of stuff, though, that Tulsi does as well in these town halls. She doesn't have the hostile environment, but she's had to deal with, The View and Morning Joe. I'm trying to think of all the little ambush moments. TYT. TYT wasn't as much of an ambush as it was a let's keep you off balance for most of this appearance so you're looking defensive. That's what TYT did to Tulsi Gabbard. But Tulsi is the Iron Maiden. She is. And somebody coined that phrase and left a comment, and it stuck with me. She's just... she is a formidable force. But is she too good for America? The way Americans understand voting right now? I mean, for all you smart people that aren't registered to vote and you love Tulsi, you might want to get registered to vote. Even if you got to vote Democratic in the primary and you don't like the Democratic Party, I'm not a Democrat. In Florida, unfortunately, you do have to be a registered Democrat or Republican in order to vote in the primary. And yes, I will be changing my registration just so I can do that. And then I will be changing my registration back to independent very quickly. I am not affiliated with any party at this point because I think the two-party system is broken. And in a perfect world, we could all mount an attack from a third flank and get a party going and get her on the debate stage one way or another. And I think that's what we're going to have to look at if things go south. But right now, I'll take the advice of many, and I'll stay the course, and I'll try to be a voice of encouragement. But I'm still wondering, is Tulsi Gabbard too good for America? And my knee-jerk response is yes. The current group of voters, yes. Would she be great for the country? Absolutely. But I don't know if people can separate those two things. It's like, just stay home and don't vote then. If you don't understand the process and you're just voting for a celebrity candidate and you think Pete Buttigieg is the greatest thing since Barack Obama, then I can't really help you, because you're really not into issues. You're into platitudes and you're into identity politics. And those things are dividing the country. They're dividing and they're making things worse. So there you go. All right, so I was not going to do a video today just because I was a little burnt out, but that's my video. And thanks for subscribing. I'll see you soon.